Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jumpin here, and today I'm going to bring you another Mass Effect 3 gameplay commentary. Today I'm going to be actually using the Quarian female engineer, which she's actually been updated, so I will talk about that in a minute here. And I'm going to be using a Talon handgun on her, definitely one of my favorite handguns and one of my favorite guns. I highly recommend extended magazine with extended barrel on this gun. And you're going to have to use armor piercing if you're going to do that, though, unfortunately. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the build. For the first part of the build, I'm going to be using shield and damage. Now, that's very important. You might think that shock would be better, but shock is not better because it will actually, shields and damage actually affects your rockets and flamethrower. Evolution 6 throws more damage if you go for shields and damage. So I highly recommend shields and damage. And for the second evolution, I definitely highly recommend armor piercing ammo, because if you're going to be using rockets or the flamethrower, this will do 100% more damage with those powers pretty much. And it's amazing. Now I'm going to be using the flamethrower just because I'm going to be a close range Quarian female engineer. If you were going to use a longer range, maybe an assault rifle or a sniper rifle, I do recommend the rockets. But to use that effectively, you kind of need to sit back or position the rockets in a certain part of the map that can hit everything. Now for Incinerate, I leave Incinerate at 3. I'm not a big fan of Incinerate, and I don't use it much, but sometimes it will come in handy, so you should definitely get it at least a 3. For Cryoblast, I love Cryoblast. I go for Radius, Cryo Explosion, and Frozen Vulnerability. Cryoblast is just an amazing debuff power, and if you combine that with a good weapon like the Talon, you will have a great day. Now for the Quarian Defender, I go for damage and capacity and power damage. Now you guys might think, oh really, I don't use Incinerate much, why would I want the damage and capacity? Well, I don't know, I like it for the turret, and I do like it for the Incinerate. And for fitness, I just like shields, just like on most of my characters. Alright, now for the equipment I'm going to be using Armor Piercing 4, which is a new equipment that recently just came out. Pistol Rare Lamp 3, Shield Booster 3, and now that Psychonic Modulator, that's actually not right. In this gameplay, I will not be using that. I will be using the Shield Power Cells 3. So, I recorded this prior to the gameplay, unfortunately, and I thought that I was going to be using that, but I decided not to. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. Now, there's going to be a couple things I want to talk about today, mainly about the recent update. But before that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Quarian female engineer and how I feel about her. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is the update prior to. Now, if you guys don't know, they updated the Sentry Turret. They made it so it does more damage. The Flamethrower does more damage. The rockets do more damage. And the rockets shoot more often at closer range. And the Flamethrower shoots more often. And that's good. So, overall, the turret definitely got a nice little buff. Is a lot better now, but my biggest beef with her is just, I mean, I don't know, like, I love Cryoblast, but I'm not a big fan of Incinerate. So to me, Incinerate is just, you will not see me, you'll see me use Cryoblast about 90% of this game, and occasionally I will throw out the turret depending on the situation, and that's about it. So I mean, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. Now, is she a good character? Yes. She is definitely a really good character now, and she's always been okay. Just for the fact that if you run around and you just cryoblast everything and you use the turret, that's great for your team. That's a great thing. Like, you're debuffing the enemies, and you're debuffing all the enemies at once. You know, any group of enemies, if you hit them with cryoblast, you'll hit all the enemies with cryoblast. You'll debuff them, and it will really help your team out. When it comes down to just pure slaying power, though, no, she's not on the level of an Infiltrator, and she's not on the level of like a Vanguard, but she is still a really nice character to play as, and it will help your team a lot. So just keep that in mind. Now, the other thing about her is that, like, the way you should think of the Quarian female engineer is that she is a Geth Infiltrator and a Geth engineer, pretty much packaged into one. She has a debuff power just like Proxy Mine, which is Cryoblast, and she has a turret. So now, is her turret as good as the Geth turret? No, but is it pretty decent offensively? Yeah, it's okay. If you were going to now, if you wanted to play her with the rockets, though, I really recommend using some type of longer range weapon, and probably if you're gonna use the rockets, you need to kind of sit back and play like conservatively. Now the rockets will work really well on Firebase White if you're gonna play against Geth all day. That's fine. But if you're like me and you like to, you know, play close range and run around and have fun like this, then this is the way you need to go. You want to go with the flamethrower and you want to use a close range gun. And the downside to the turret is that you have to constantly throw it out. That's really the issue. With the rockets, at least you can just throw it out in a certain position and just let them, you know, let the sentry turret do its job. When you run around with the sentry turret, you have to constantly throw it out, so it can be a little annoying, to be honest. And that's probably my biggest beef with her. But overall, I think the female Quarian engineer is a lot better now, and I would recommend her on any team, to be honest. She really can help your team out if you run around and cryoblast everything and you use her turret effectively. So that's really all I wanted to talk about with the Quarian female engineer. You'll see the gameplay. You'll see me like just wreck. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up in this gameplay is actually going to be an epic fail. It really will be. I actually was going to mention that right away in this gameplay. I kind of forgot. But yeah, no, this gameplay will end in an epic fail. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys, but yeah, this it's gonna be pretty awesome at the end, but you'll see. But anyway, the rest of the game though, I will be wrecking with this. I mean, this is I decided to use this gameplay even though we had the fail moment at the end, just because this was really good gameplay. I had other gameplays that were okay, but I just felt like this was the best one when it came down to just really showing off the way I like to play with this character, because you know, I use her very effectively, and I use her in my own play style. So, and I knew you guys would probably enjoy this video just because of how aggressive I play and how effectively I play with this Quarian female. So, alright, now let me go ahead and get into everything about the recent update. Now, this update took place, for anyone who might be watching this in the future, this update took place right around the same time as the extended cut came out. And the update I speak of is the update that nerfed the Infiltrator a little bit, and also changed the package, or the packs, so that you cannot get character cards anymore if you have all the colors for a certain character. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the Infiltrator, because I hear everyone always tells me, like, it's amazing to me, because guys, please, if you talk to me on Xbox, please don't come into my lobby and say, Joe, but did you hear about this? Because most of the time, yeah, I've heard about it. Everyone's been saying, what, man, did you know they nerfed the Infiltrator? It's like, yeah, I know they nerfed the Infiltrator, man. I've been known. Now, the way I feel about the nerfing to the Infiltrator, I like it, honestly. I don't really think it's a big deal. A lot of people freak out about the littlest things. They think that any nerf in the game, like if Hunter mode loses 7.5% damage, it ruins the Geth. No, it does not ruin the Geth, guys. The Infiltrator is still going to be pretty much the best character in the game. He's not going to be unplayable. He's still going to be really good. Now, the biggest problem now with the Infiltrator is that his cloak's duration went down. That's the only issue. The damage really isn't that big of a deal. He only lost 10% damage in general and 15% damage for sniper rifles. So that's only 25% damage if you have a sniper rifle Infiltrator build. That's just 25%. It's not a big deal, honestly. I mean, 25% is a lot, but it's better than them nerfing them like, you know, 30 or 40%. Now, I think the biggest problem that people are having with him is the fact that the cloak's duration has went down. So everyone's now going for duration. Guys, do not go for duration in cloak. You do not need the duration. The 5 seconds is long enough, honestly. It really is. The 5 seconds is plenty of time to cloak, position yourself, and shoot your gun. You just don't need to be cloaking the whole game now. It used to be that as an infiltrator you could cloak, like I could cloak anywhere on the map and run to where the enemies are, and when I get to the enemies I would probably have enough time to shoot them and still be cloaked. Now you really can't do that. Now you're going to have to wait until you are in a position where you can see the enemies, or you know where the enemies are, and then cloak. That's really it, guys. And now the biggest downside I think that people are having is that, our fear they're having is that the device objective is going to be impossible now. No, guys, it's not. Like, believe me, I've played plenty of games where me and my whole team, there was no infiltrator, and we were able to get the devices, like, with no problem. If you play smart and you play the right way, getting devices, it's really not going to be that hard. So just try to keep that in mind, guys. You know, you just it's not a big deal, and you'll still will have 5 seconds of being invisible on a device. So that's the main thing I wanted to talk about, the Infiltrator. It is a good thing what they did, though. I mean, a lot of people bitch and they say, why do they nerf a co-op game? I will tell you why. The reason why they nerf it is because there's some things in this game that people hate. And one of the things is the Infiltrator. I think the reason why the Infiltrator got nerfed is because of the forums. A lot of people got on the forums and were like, "Oh, the Infiltrator is so overpowered. The Infiltrator is so, it's so hard to compete against an Infiltrator. The Infiltrator this, the Infiltrator that." Here's the thing, guys. What you need to understand about those people on the forums, which I'm sure a lot of you guys, there's going to be some of you who are probably always on the forums, and there's going to be a lot of you that aren't always on the forums. But what I can tell you about the forums, kids on the forums are real big time know-it-alls. They think they know everything. And the downside to the kids on the forum is that these same kids, I promise you this, the ones who got the Infiltrator nerf, the ones who bitched and bitched and bitched all day to BioWare about these Infiltrators, these same kids probably used Infiltrators from the day that this game came out. And then all of a sudden, they got bored. They got bored with the Infiltrator, and then if you just play as an Infiltrator, and then all of a sudden you're not playing as an Infiltrator no more, and you try to maybe play as a Turian Sentinel, yeah, you're going to realize it's very hard to compete against an Infiltrator. Although this game is not about competing. This game is about working together. So, is it dumb to nerf stuff and debuff stuff in a co-op game? Yes, it's dumb. But kids want to have fun. That's just the truth of it. People want to have fun. And if you guys ever wonder this, when I say kids, I use a lot of gaming lingo, a lot of gamer slang, because I used to play a lot of MLG for Halo. And because of that, I say kid a lot. I don't mean kids like little kids. I mean like just people. So I apologize for that if you guys don't understand that. I get comments in my videos sometimes saying, "Why are you saying kids?" I don't mean it like little kids. I mean it like people or gamers. But anyway, a lot of gamers, to have fun with this game, or they don't have fun with this game when they're not doing well. Like, that's the truth. People compete. They just, it's in their nature to try to compete against other players, even in this game. Even if you're not like that, you gotta understand there are a lot of people who are, and those people are the ones who complain a lot, and BioWare listened to them, and that's why the Infiltrator got nerfed, is because of people like that. So and like I said, it is kind of a good thing that they did nerf it, because I'm not one of these people who are going to be like, "Oh, I gotta get on the forums and get this fucking shit nerfed. This gotta change." I'm not like that. But do I feel happy that they nerfed the Infiltrator? Yeah, because he was too overpowered. I think this game needs to be harder than easier. And the Infiltrator is one of the easiest classes to use, especially the Quarian male Infiltrator. I am really hating the arc grenades, guys. I really am. Just because everyone I play with, I mean everybody I play with, they all And if I don't know you and you just come into my game, if you're in the clan or if you're just a fan of mine, everybody always comes in with the freaking Quarian male infiltrator or the Quarian male engineer, and they just use the grenades like crazy. And because of the fact everyone now, it's been so long, they have like their grenade capacity 4 or 3 or 5. It's like all you have to do is run around and throw grenades, and that's it the whole time. And I'm sorry, but the grenades take no skill, and it's just not fun to play with somebody doing that. Just because I like to have a challenge. I like to play the game and do things like use the Quarian female engineer and play really well, like what I'm doing right here. I'm playing very well with this Quarian female engineer. But if there's some jackass who are just able to run around and just throw grenades the whole time, I can't perform the proper way. You understand what I mean? I can't play the way that I want to play because of that. And I mean, I don't know. So let me shut up there because I got a lot of other stuff to talk about before this video ends. Now, the other thing that they did, which I don't know how to feel about it. I guess I'm happy, is that they made it so now if you have, let's say you have all the colors for the Sorry Justicar. If you have all the colors for the Sorry Justicar, you cannot get the Ansari Justicar anymore. You just can't get the character card. And if you're a person like me, I have all the colors for all the characters, I can't get character cards anymore. And because of that alone, I have decided to pretty much not, and I really mean this, I will not be promoting at all anymore. There's really no point. If I was to try to level up from level 1 to 20 without like getting a boost from from opening up packs and stuff, yeah, it's just gonna take so long that I mean I don't care about my rank. I have not cared about my rank in a long time. That's a fact. But at the same time, it used to be that when let's say I was opening up some packs. If I got a character card and I was level 20, I would feel like that was a huge waste. That was a huge waste of money if I just got character cards and I had level 20s. So why not promote? Why not, just do that to get levels out of it? Now, I'm kind of really happy that, because since I don't care about my rank, and I'm done with it. Like, I'm done with trying to be a high rank. I've been done with that for months now. Just because of that alone, I'm really happy with this, because now I can just leave all my guys at level 20 and never worry about getting character cards anymore. I'm kind of really happy about that part of it. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be mad. They're like, I want to be number 1 on the leaderboards. Because the truth of the matter is, you will never catch up to the number 1 guy now. The guys in the 10,000s and stuff, you will never catch up with him without having those packs to help you. But overall, I love it. Because now that's just going to mean that you're going to get your gear. You're going to be able to get all your gear bonuses now easier. You're going to be able to get blacklisted weapons easier. And I really, really like the new equipment, which is what you get a lot now. The level 4 equipment. And because all the level 4 equipment is beastly, guys. They are... The psychonic modulator, I don't know what it does. It might give you 150% more shields and stuff, but I really don't know. You guys can leave a comment and let me know what all of them do if you want. But overall, I've used a couple of them, and yeah, Armor Piercing 4 is amazing. Like, that's what I have on in this gameplay, and it is so amazing. And Incinerate Rounds 4 is amazing, and a lot of these new equipment it's just really, really good. Alright, so as you can tell, this is Wave 8. This is pretty much around the point where we have our fail moment. And it happened so fast, I had no idea what was going on. Pretty much, I think it's like right around this point where, like, what ended up happening is that, we're fighting these enemies. We're kind of rolling through this. We haven't had much trouble this whole game. Then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, the Banshees ended up grabbing one of our guys. Before I knew it, all of a sudden, boom! Another one of our guys got grabbed. Like, so that's 2 guys, and then all of a sudden, boom, Snide gets grabbed. So, at this point, I'm like, wait a minute, am I alone? And apparently I was. Like, I have to clutch this, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is a nightmare. Like, this is like the worst nightmare I could have ever had in Mass Effect 3. All I ever talk about is the fact I hate the Quarian female engineer. Now I have to clutch gold Reapers as the Quarian female engineer. Oh! But luckily, like, I mean, I just go on a beast mode right here. Like, if you guys don't know, I haven't died once this whole gameplay so far. And, I mean, I'm like, you know, shit, I might die, but I am going to go out fighting. I am going to try my heart out not to go down, and I'm going to clutch this out. And, you know, one of the problems with people trying to clutch is they tend to run away way too much. Now, as you can tell, I'm going to be running away, but I call it more of a tactical retreat than a run like a bitch. Just because I'm going to run from the Banshee, but I'm also going to fight in the same sense. Every time I see an enemy, besides like right there, actually no, look, like right here, I see that enemy, I'm like, I'm going to kill this thing. I'm not going to run away and let the enemies come to me. And that's what happens a lot with Infiltrators. And that's another thing that's kind of a good thing with the cloak now being only 5 seconds. You just can't have some kid who just cloaks and run away and he just runs from all the enemies. You just can't really do that much now like you used to. So, but as you can tell, like, the main thing to do when you're trying to clutch it is run away from the boss and just try to find the enemies. Unfortunately, what happened to me in this gameplay was that, yeah, my teammates died way too quick in this wave. So this wave, it's got a lot left. But I'm really getting close to the end of this wave. Luckily, there's only like so much left. And right here, I'm going to pretty much try to pick off this Ravager. I felt it took way too long to kill that thing. And now I'm working on this Brute. And then here comes the Banshee. And oh yeah, that just happened, for real. Oh my god, yeah. So, as you can tell, guys, that was an epic fail. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, though. Please comment, please like, please subscribe, and like always, guys, have a nice day.